Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Experience podcast, inside the business, buzz, and brilliance of Black entrepreneurs. Here is your host, Dr. Frances Richards.
This is a bonus episode.
What happens in Vegas goes all over the world on Black Entrepreneur Experience, episode number 262. Our guests have sent us so much swag, books, and giveaways this year. I can't wait to announce our monthly winner. So if you want exclusive content delivered right to your inbox and to enter into our monthly drawing, go to drfrancesrichards.com and subscribe to our mailing list. That's drfrancesrichards.com. drfrancesrichards.com. That's drfrancesrichards.com and subscribe to our mailing list. We promise we will not spam you or sell your information.
Thank you for joining us as we elevate the Black entrepreneur experience by interviewing CEOs, thought leaders, innovative thinkers, and Black entrepreneurs across the globe. I'm your host, Dr. Frances Richards, founder of The Teacher's Resource, a new nonprofit with a mission to support and uplift teachers. Welcome, Sonya Battle.
Thank you so much for having me.
I've given our audience such a brief bio. Why don't you fill in the gaps and share with our audience what you'd like them to know about you and your business?
Well, I am Sonya Battle, founder and CEO of the Teachers Resource Organization, where we are taking care of the person behind the teacher. Our complete focus and mission is to provide exclusive self-care and support for the total well-being of teachers. That's mentally, emotionally, and physically. And it's for teachers throughout the USA. When we started this and we began to do our research, we found that there was not a company, group, or organization that had any place that was just for the care, the inside care of the teachers. And we know that inside care help us function and be what we need to be on the outside. It always starts on the inside. So that's who we are. And that's who I am in my heart. And I'm called to help and to serve people. And I get to serve our teachers. I love being a servant leader. And I'm excited about the impact that it's already having in just about 8 months with teachers everywhere.
Sonya, tell me about that aha moment that you knew you were going to be successful.
I knew that I was going to be successful when I was a little girl. And everywhere my mom would take me or everything that we would do, I would always end up in a position helping people or in the spotlight for the way I care, the way I support, the way I see things and the solutions that I would provide. And as I got older, my mom would always tell me, "You're wise beyond your years." And she said, "You're going to be somebody special. You are my special baby." I was her firstborn. And no matter where I go, always respectful of my surroundings, I always ended up in the spotlight, up front, doing what I love to do. And that is being there for people, be it through a listening ear, giving advice, helping out, whatever it is. And it's always something that makes a big impact and brings healing and change and awareness to the person. And that's vital for me. So I knew then I have to do something where I'm helping people on a private and public level. And that typically would lead you to a successful path.
Talk about your why. Why teachers?
Why teachers? Because I understand what it feels like to be overlooked. I understand what it feels like to work and you feel undervalued and you don't get the pay you deserve. You don't get the recognition you deserve. It's just, it's understood like, oh, this is just what you're supposed to do. Oh, thank you for being this person, or thank you, that's just what you do. And it's like you're invisible, but you're expected to do so much. And that's not a good feeling. I know what it feels like to be there and everyone just overlooks you and it makes you feel rejected. It makes you feel like, why am I here? Do I have a purpose? And our teachers, it's like we just throw them in there and, oh, happy Teachers Week. And then that's it. They have no one advocating for them. They have no one to stand up for them. They have no one to say, you know what, this is a person first. And so why not? I can identify personally how that feels. And I know what it also feels like to be healed from that place and to have people in your corner, to have people that are the wind beneath your wings, to hold you up and say, hey, listen, These teachers deserve high honor, high respect, and they should be held in high regard at all times. Everything we're doing is because we started in kindergarten, early childhood education. A teacher had to help us to get to where we are. Whatever degree we got, at some level, if not all, it was because of a teacher. They are the real MVPs.
So were you a teacher?
I am not a teacher. I am not a teacher, and that's always a topic of conversation. They're like, you're doing this and you never were a teacher, but I was impacted greatly by my teachers. I remember my teachers. They gave me purpose. They let me know I was somebody. They helped me identify Sonya and to own that. They let me know that I just wasn't an average person, that I had an ability that was beyond just average, and I had to do more, and I had to work a little harder because of what was in me. Teaching is a calling. It has to be. It's a calling, and it's a service that has to be innate within you. I really believe it's something that you're born with. For me, it's something that God just has to put in you to be able to say, I am going to commit to helping children that are not mine. And no matter the highs and lows, no matter how I'm treated, no matter that most teachers spend between $730 to $800 a year out of their own pocket to have the resources and tools they need to be effective and efficient in the classroom for them and the students. I'm going to stick it through. I'm not a teacher, but I understand and I respect their journey and their commitment to say, I'm going to make sure your child succeed, your child win.
What is your zone of genius?
My zone of genius is when I'm very strategic and God has gifted me with the ability to create and see situations and come up with solutions immediately that normally no one sees. Come up with ideas and answers and strategies that work. So my zone of genius is putting me in something that seemed complicated, that no matter how anybody else tried, no matter the challenge, we just can't find a resolve. We can't get the results. We can't seem to move from this point. If you put me there, my zone kicks in. I lock in. I see what's not seen. And I say, here's the answer. And we get a solution and we move forward.
Talk about starting Teachers Resources, the nonprofit. How did you raise the capital?
Well, the way that we started out actually as the Teacher's Backpack, and our tag was more than just a backpack. It's a 100% a God idea, and it really came from one of my friends that I know that's a teacher. When they started going back at the beginning of this passing pesky pandemic, because it is passing, we won't be here always, he posted and he said, pray for teachers, we're not okay. And I prayed for teachers, and it was in that prayer that the idea that I say came from God. Well, I know it did. And I began to write it out. I said, oh, the teacher's backpack, more than just a backpack, because it wasn't about giving them a backpack with supplies. It was about having resources, not just the self-care backpacks, but we have an app that's coming out, a mind, body, and soul app for our teachers. So it was about giving them things that's more than what they would think was in a backpack that was going to help them be healthy from the inside out. So I wrote it out and we started. The capital I did not have. It was truly a faith walk. I was like, to do this now. And every step of the way has been a lot of favor, a lot of kind people. And we've had donations throughout, and we're still navigating. And now you have to go through that process when you're a nonprofit and apply and go through the IRS. So once we got all that taken care of, and that really just happened, now we're in a position now where we're applying for grants and we're doing other fundraisers and people are supporting more. But our efforts now to raise capital is through merchandise that we have. We have T-shirts that we sell for teachers. We have a Mind, Body, and Soul teacher's journal and planner that'll be coming out the third quarter of this year, and that's going to be capital for. So we're still in that raising capital process, but I would not change one step of how this process has gone because that's what's needed. It had to happen just like this.
Someone is listening to you and they're saying, how do I get involved?
How do you get involved with the Teachers Resource? You just reach out to us at info@theteachersresource.org. That's an email address. And you let us know. We would love for you to help. We would love for you to volunteer. We would love to let you know what's going on and see if anything in there is your expertise or your skill set. We are open to that. So you would just reach out to us, send us an email again at info@theteachersresource.org. And one of our team members will reach out to you and we will be glad to connect.
How do you find your teachers?
Well, what our teachers we put it up on social media. So when we first started, like I said, our first day was August the 11th, 2020. And we put up social media pages on Facebook and Instagram in September. And we just began to advertise and say who we are. And they just begin to like it, and then they'll see what we do and they begin to ask questions. And so now we're on all social sites, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And then we have our website, and they come, and now we do programs and we do events, and they know us now because we ship out what's called the self-care backpacks, which is a very popular item for us. And they'll reach out, or sometimes they'll inbox me directly and they'll be like, hey, I'm a teacher, and do I qualify because I live in this state? We have 6 teachers that live out of the country that reached out to us and said, hey, this is amazing. Nobody ever thinks about our self-care. I know we don't qualify, and it was no way I could turn them away. But what they didn't know was one of our goals was to go international. So it kind of just happened way before we scheduled it, but so we support them. So they find us through our social media and then through the events and the lives that we have currently.
Do you vet them, or do you write that they're a teacher, or do you just trust that they're a teacher?
Most times when they reach out to us, they come through like they say, hey, this is the school I go to. This is where I teach. So they kind of do it themselves already. So, and when we follow them and we connect with them, we see the pictures of them in their classroom. And so I don't have a vetting process that I say, hey, show me your teacher's license, or let me call your principal to see if you are a teacher. But we see it as we interact and as we connect with them.
What can we do right now to help teachers resource?
Right now, the teachers resource, it would be great if we had like product sponsors, meaning, like I said, we have the self-care backpacks, different products to go in there. What goes in those backpacks? We have like wireless Bluetooth headsets. We have Amazon Fire tablets. We have like a Fitbit watch for when they work out. That's in those backpacks. We have journals. Of course, we have a water bottle. So any type of companies or businesses that say, hey, we got these products, we get to put them in there. They get to know about you, know about your products. And of course, if you want to support and donate to us, you can go to our website at theteachersresource.org and you can make a donation. And it is a tax deductible donation. That always helps. But product sponsors, people who are licensed in the mental health, life coaches, physical trainers, because we focus on mind, body, and soul. Next year, we have an app that's coming out for teachers called the Mind, Body, and Soul Self-Care app. And it is just for teachers, and they will be able to connect with licensed professionals for whatever area they need for their mind, which is the therapist, counselor, psychiatrist, life coach. Body is doctors, nurse practitioners, PAs, RNs, nutritionists, licensed physical trainers, and then their soul, whatever their spirituality, their faith, they could connect with someone. And then we'll have a feature on there, which is very dear to my heart, that if you're just in a moment that you're feeling very overwhelmed, we'll have some of our professionals that'll be on call. And there's a button that you can push and it'll get you connected immediately. But that app is for them, and they could set up appointments face to face. They can do virtual, they can do over the phone. And we're very excited about that because it's never been done before. So we're 2 and 2 for doing something that's never been done.
What is the best decision that you've made as a leader?
Is to be a servant first, to always make sure I'm serving, always make sure I'm giving back, and to always do it with integrity. Integrity is loud, and not because I say I have integrity, but because my actions are loud. And I find that when you operate in integrity and you have a heart that's filled with humility and care for other people, the best decision I could have ever made is to accept what I believe is the call on my life, is to serve others, to esteem others more higher than myself. And every time I do that, I never go lacking. Be genuine, be honest, walk in integrity, have great intentions, just be a good human. That's the best decision. I think to qualify to be a leader, you must be a servant.
Give, get. What do you want to give? What do you want to get?
What do I want to give just to people?
However you interpret it.
What I want to give and what I want to leave and give is love. I know it's like a common thing. You know, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. But love is so powerful. And if I could give the gift of people loving themselves, it starts an immediate healing process and it makes us better people. And with that as the foundational ingredients, it will correct other things and we'll look up and we'll have a better world. I want to give real love, real support. I want people to understand that they're worth it. I want to bring and give value. I want to leave and give healing and hope and inspiration. I want to ignite what you thought could never be because my life was so this, or I went through this and you don't understand what I did, or you don't understand what happened to me. You're breathing, which means you have another chance. It's never too late for things to get better. So I want to give the gift of love and to let you know, yep, you can do it again. Hello, here's your fresh start. Welcome.
Sonya, talk about legacy. When it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered?
As the person who showed up and did what she said she was going to do. She said it. She meant it. She did it. She did it from a place of character, a place of strength and integrity, a place of care. She got it done. She got the results. When she told, no matter how hard, no matter how difficult, she walked through it. And she was the example. She didn't just say it. She was the example. When it's all said and done, I want a legacy to be left, integrity, and that you do what you say you're going to do. Let your actions be loud.
Sonya, the word is listening. What is that resounding sound and that message that your generation is saying that we should listen to?
Listen to what you know is your truth, what you know is your sound, solid truth. Listen to what you know is going to bring you peace. It's going to bring you healing. It's going to see you through. Make sure that the sound that resounds around you, out of you, through you is a sound of truth, a sound of breakthrough, and a sound of freedom. Listen to your truth and don't ever give up on your truth because that's what's going to help you get there. That's your superpower.
Talk about self-care. What does self-care look like for Sonya?
Self-care for me starts on the inside, and I believe that a true self-care journey does start on the inside. So for me, it's having what I call mirror moments. And the reason I call it mirror moments is because when you look in a natural mirror, it doesn't hide anything. It shows you exactly who you are. So even in my head, if I'm this size and I'm shaped like this, when I look in that mirror is going to tell me exactly what's there. And when you're able to face exactly who you are and deal with those inside blockers sometime, be it from childhood, be it from teenage years on into adulthood, that's where self-care begins. Because what I'm saying is I love myself enough to show up for myself. I love myself enough to face this hard truth. And I love myself enough to go through this mirror moment process of introspection and facing everything about me, good, bad, ugly, and different, and getting it corrected. I'm brave enough to get help. I'm brave enough to admit that I need help and recognize that help. So it's okay. I can have God plus a therapist. They work together and I can get it done. So that is self-care. That's how it starts for me. And then once that process starts, then we get to the things that we call self-care, going to get a massage, getting my feet done. And that's a form of relaxation. I'm not taking away from that, but that's only temporal and that's on the outside. When I'm together and I'm whole and healed on the inside, my outside is going to show up, period, because that's a form of self-care and self-love. I love myself enough to hold myself accountable and put in the work to do what I need to do to keep myself in a space and in a position of constant care and awareness of what's going on with Sonya.
Sonya, what book would you recommend and why?
Well, now I know that there are many, many great books out there. There are really many great books out there, but I will say this. I love Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers. My number one book is my Bible because I literally have learned and have grown, and the ideas I get, the inspiration I get when I'm writing speeches or courses or speaking, it all starts there. Everything I do starts there. And so that's my number one book. But Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers is really, really good because it starts in the mind and it breaks down how you can deal with your mind to be effective, because our mind is our control tower. And if our control tower is not right and it's not functioning well and we got the wrong voice in our head, we're in trouble. Deal with the mind, go through that process, and you'll come out better.
What's Sonya Battle and what matters to Sonya Battle?
Sonya is just a nice, kind country girl born and raised in Louisiana who absolutely loved people. I've always been like this. My grandma told me when I was little, when I would have my friends, if my granddaddy gave me 50 cents, I would give them a quarter. And I've always been that person that wanted to take care. I'm a nurturer. And I love love and I love to take care of people and I want everybody to be okay. And I get that things happen in life. So Sonya is that person that will be there. Sonya is that loyal friend, sister, confidant. Sonya is that person that will get in there and pull up her sleeves and get down in the nitty gritty with you and stay there and walk you through it. I'm that person. I think that is one of a rare breed. I last and I'm loyal, healthy wise. Sometimes loyalty, you got to be careful with that. But as long as it's healthy and as long as it's right, I'm that person that stays. I'm the one you can count on. And so that's Sonya. That's who I am. I love to sing. I love to laugh and make others laugh. I'm big on my health. I'm on a weight loss journey. So that's very huge for me. I was 401 pounds and now we're down to about 280 and it's all natural. I didn't want to do any surgeries or anything like that. So it's hard work and it's been up and down, but I'm committed. So that's who I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you need right now that you don't have to move the needle forward?
It would be more funding for the teachers resource because everything we're doing is big. Everything we're doing is huge. And just that support or the right sponsors that would give that access or that platform to be able to get what we need and have those things and systems in place. So, but we are working towards that every day and we're putting in the long hours and the hard work. And I'm thankful for that.
What is the best decision that you made as a leader?
To get up and do it, to not talk myself out of it and say, hey, Sonya, you don't qualify because look what you did and look at your life and look to get up and walk in my truth and know who I am and do it by the grace of God because it wasn't about me. It's not about me. I think about how many people will not get what they need because I just won't get up and do it. So I looked fear in the face and I let fear know that you don't control me. And I got up and I'm doing it. And it's for the sake of others. And that's what's important. Not to miss your assignment, not to miss your timing, not to talk yourself. You have to be your first cheerleader. You have to be your first biggest supporter. You have to be your first push. And so to get up and do it.
I want you to have a monologue and I want you to talk to this person, living or not. And I want you to name the person. This person has impacted your life so much. Who is that person and what are you saying to that person?
Wow, I do not want to cry, but that person would be my mom who has passed away. And her name was Judy K. Battle, MD, Dr. Judy K. Battle. She was a cardiologist. And that's how we ended up in North Carolina. She completed her fellowship at Duke University. And my mom was always my number one supporter. She taught me how to be selfless. She taught me and told me that I was a fighter. She told me that I was worth it and that I'm not a castaway. She let me know that I was loved and that I had the strength through God, through Jesus, to do anything that I wanted to do. She let me know that I wasn't a failure. And when I was made to feel like I was slow or I couldn't learn, I remember I was in the second grade and it was time to go to the third grade. And the teacher told my mom that I was still on a first grade reading level and that I needed to get my reading up so I can go to the third grade. And my mommy made flashcards and she got words and she got books and she was a singer and a musician too. And we sang and she did it how I remembered it. She said, you remember songs, let's go. And she would put those words up and she would say, read this to mommy. Now read this book. Now, oh, let me go back. Oh, you sound so good when you read. Oh, look at you saying those words. When my mom finished with me, I went to the third grade on a fifth grade reading level. And that moment let me know that there is nothing that I cannot do. I don't care how major the challenge is, how scary and intimidating. I got some stones for my Goliath. You can call me David because Goliath won't win. And so that's my monologue to my mom. I love you, Mom. Continue to rest.
Oh, thank you for being so authentic and our sincere sympathy for your loss.
Thank you.
What is the problem that exists in the world today that you would like to solve?
Hate. It goes back to love. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's self-hate. It's not knowing who we are. It's what we were taught. If I could stand in front of the whole world and say, listen, to make people aware, you're missing out on who you are by agreeing to walk in hate. and to walk into selfishness. Like if love would be received, and my love is from the love of God, if that, I'm telling you, it is a powerful force. Give it to people and explain to people rightfully. It is a powerful force. And when love comes in, it immediately heals. It immediately takes blinders off. It allows you to forgive yourself. It's a self-love that's missing in the world. And because of that lack of self-love, because of people walking around undiagnosed with issues and hurts and pains, it turns into what we have experienced, unfortunately, in these last years, and especially these last 2 years of life. That's what I would say. Let's break through to you and deal with the root of it so you can heal.
Who are your top two influencers and what lessons did they teach you?
My top two influencers. One would be my dear, she's a mentor to me, dear friend. Her name is Tavia Jackson. She's listening. And she's taught me how to view things from another lens. I tend to immediately be like, no, this is what it meant and this is why they did it. And she's imparted in me and helped me grow in patience, help me to look at things and research things a little more to get a better understanding and perspective, and how to respond versus react when things come at you, or life or people don't treat you fairly, or challenges come. She's taught me how to own the moment, see what's going on, look at it through another lens, consider the other person and not just consider myself, and to respond from a place of health and healing. So she is a big influencer for me, and she always guides me. She's always there. If I call her, hey, this is going on, be it personal, be it business, she's right on with the wisdom, on with the guidance that she gives me. She helps me be better every day. She helps me become a better person and a better leader. So that's Tavia. The other person that influences me, I have another friend, and her name is Eliza, and she is amazing. She let me know that it's okay to mess up, and she helps me and covers me and teaches me how to deal with challenges, how to organize life, that there is peace and I'm not in constant disarray or confusion. She imparts in me her time and her wisdom to help me reach and attain goals. I look up to her business wise because she's accomplished so much. She's a pharmacist. She has her own construction company. So she's a roadmap for me. And those two ladies have been a great impact in my life to keep me grounded, to keep me focused, and to help me grow.
There are so many brands and businesses that are dominating. Talk about a brand or a business that's dominating that you admire and why.
There's a brand, a young lady. She started a business, and I've been following her for a while. And there's so many, but this one is just, I've just been following her. She started a business selling scrubs. She was working as a CNA, not really making a lot of money. And she had her children, and she was losing out on everything. And she made a decision. It was scary. It was intimidating because it's like, oh, scrubs are everywhere. Why sell them? And she made a decision based on her truth. And she started selling, and I just been following her. This young lady now makes over $2-3 million a year. And she helped others who wants to start in that business. I love that. She's reaching back and she's giving back. She's saying, hey, will you do this? You could start your business. You could be successful. And the testimony, it's real. She's kind. I watch her videos and I really appreciate her contribution and her company for what they're doing. So yes, that's a company that's rising and dominating, and it's still going.
That is awesome. Thanks for sharing. Did you tell us the name of that business? Do you know?
Oh, yes. So the name of her company is Sea Scrubs with Love, LLC, and Lydia Nelson is the CEO. She went from a CNA to a $3+ million a year income through selling these scrubs and helping others, giving back, pulling others up in the community to do the same, giving them the same opportunity. So I am just impressed and amazed at her. So congratulations.
Thank you for sharing that. That's great. What is your best discovery?
My best discovery for me, for Sonya, it was to discover my true identity. Because for many years, I lived not knowing who I was, or knew who I was, but was scared to embrace it. And because of that, I was an extreme people pleaser. I had low self-esteem. I had low self-worth. And when you don't know who you are, you're open to become who you're not. And it took me on a journey and a path, and I made connections that I would have never made had I known who I was. Your strength lies in knowing your identity. There's a boldness and a confidence that come when you know who you are. It's unmovable. You stand in that strength. You stand in that power. It activate the power that's already within us. And you stand in that, in your identity, knowing who you are. It's a confidence. You stand up straight. You have your shoulders back and you walk in that, and you're able to fully execute your purpose and knowing who you are. So my discovery was discovering my identity and then taking it back and clearing up who I wasn't and letting people understand who I am.
How did you discover that, your identity?
When I was left broken and shattered, when I was left with the decision of take these pills, your life doesn't matter. I had been kicked for the last time, and except for the grace of God, mine could have been gone. And in that moment, I said, Sonya, you have to accept who you are. And I prayed. I recognized that I had just been passive about who I was. I would dumb down who I was so I could fit in. And I said no more. And I asked God to be my strength. And it's through him that I do all things. And the process of healing and hope and restoration started. It was a process. It is a process. And it's an everyday journey. But I tell you, Dr. Richards, I know who I am. And I'm not ashamed of that. I don't apologize for that. And I'm able to be there for people and be their advocate and their strength because I understand my strength.
What is one valuable lesson you wish you knew before starting your nonprofit?
How nonprofits really worked. This is my first time. And so I was just excited that we get to help teachers. And although I was reading, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, so you got to get a board and I probably should have slowed down and just sat with somebody who've done it and been successful for many years. And I have that now. I have a phenomenal business coach, all of that now. But I just went forth with the vision. Like I knew it couldn't wait. And even though it started during this pesky pandemic, it's for this time and beyond. I wish I would have known a little more about how it works to start a nonprofit, what it is to be a leader, what it is to be in charge, if you will, and how to handle the different steps and levels that goes with building a brand, building an organization, having team members, knowing now all of the help I needed. I didn't even realize I was just ready to go, just genuine readiness and zeal. But now I have a little more knowledge, a little more wisdom. So that's what I wish.
Talk about how did you get here? So what did you do prior to prepare you for this moment to run a nonprofit?
Well, I think without me knowing, I was being prepared in corporate America. My background is human resources, all things human resources. And I've been working in corporate America and still do for about 30 years. And the bulk of that time has been with human resources in every part of human resources you can think of, employee relations, benefits, whatever you can think of, payroll, people issue, all of those things I've done. And I've had to lead in those roles. I've had to manage in those roles. I've had to write procedures in those roles. I've had to organize, manage projects. I did not know it, but that definitely prepared me for this moment because a lot of what I've learned in corporate America and being in leadership and working in human resources, having to come up and manage projects and come up with ideas and solutions, those tools, those skills are helping me right now.
Talk about business continuity. What is your highest risk as a business owner?
I think the highest risk for me as a business owner is because I'm supporting it and self-funding it. That's a huge risk because if I'm not careful, then I could deplete me and it could affect my livelihood. That's a big, big risk. So getting to a place where I can still be who I need to be for the organization, for our teachers, for the people who support the team that support the teachers' resource. That's what I need to get in a place of consistency and where we have those things in place that could sustain something of this magnitude.
Sonya, if you conducted this interview, what is the one question you would have asked yourself? I want you to ask the question and answer it.
The one question I would have asked myself is this really what you want to do for the long haul? Are you committed to everything that comes with what you are leading for the long haul? And my answer without hesitation would be yes, because I believe that preparation precedes the blessing. When you prepare, you're ready. And I believe that I've been in years of preparation, not knowing that it would lead to this, but the life lessons, the bumps, the bruises, the ups and downs, all the things that I caused, the things that I didn't cause, all of that has prepared me and given me that word that we love to hear, endurance. There is an endurance and a stamina and a commitment and a focus and a strength and a power that is required when you are taking on a task to be a leader of a company or an organization, whatever you're going to lead, especially when it involves the care of others. You got to know mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically, and spiritually that you have the endurance, you have the stamina, you have the integrity and the commitment to do this task. And I believe that everything that I've gone through in life, one thing I know, I have the patience, I have the stamina and the wherewithal to be in it for the long haul.
We've come to the part of our interview. It's called Fun Facts Lightning Round. I'm going to ask you a series of questions and I want you to give me very quick answers.
Okay.
If there's something you desire not to answer, feel free to say pass.
Okay.
Are you ready for the Fun Facts Lightning Round?
Let's go.
Your first job.
County Market Grocery Store.
Your favorite color.
Purple.
The last movie you saw.
Beverly Hills Cop 3.
You relaxed doing what?
I relaxed just sitting down, breathing, and just exhaling my day.
Your favorite singer or rapper?
Wow, many. But I would have to say one of my top favorites is CeCe Winans.
Your favorite dance song?
Just Fine, Mary J. Blige.
What food you eat every week, no matter what?
I don't know if it's a food, but cereal.
Your favorite month?
September.
Workout or hit the couch?
Workout.
Sonya, thank you so much for spending time with us on Black Entrepreneur Experience Podcast. Before we let you go, why don't you share with our audience the best way for them to connect with you and do business with you? And feel free to leave all your social media handles.
Absolutely. So the best way to connect with me, you can email me at sonya@theteachersresource.org, or you could go to our website at theteachersresource.org, and on Facebook and Instagram, it's at theteachersresource.org. And if you're on Twitter, we are at the letter T Resource 20.
Thank you. That's a wrap. Congratulations, Kathy from Winthrop, Harvard, Illinois, our May winner. Subscribe to our mailing list to receive weekly updates and exclusive content delivered right to your inbox. Go to drfrancisrichards.com. That's drfrancisrichards.com to subscribe to our mailing list and be entered into our monthly drawing. That's drfrancisrichards.com, drfrancisrichards.com to subscribe to our mailing list and be entered into our monthly drawing. We promise we won't spam you or sell your information.
Thank you for listening and subscribing to Black Entrepreneur Experience. We would love for you to leave a review and rating on iTunes and share with your friends. For show notes and more episodes, go to www.beepodcast.com. Join us next Wednesday, and remember, green is the new black. So keep your bank accounts and your business in the black.